BrewTube booze review. Yes, you see, we have the Celtic jersey on, my favorite soccer or football team. That's right, the Glasgow Celtic, that is. Not the Boston Celtic, we're talking basketball. Glasgow Celtic, football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. They are my team. That's it. Anywho, so, and I believe they're also the team of my good buddy Danny, also known as So Fucking Drunk. Shout out to you, my brother. You know what's up with the boys, don't you? Anywho, so, you hear me saying all this Scottish stuff, and in front of us, we have a Scottish classic. That's right, one from D. Johnston Company on the Isle of Islay, out of Scotland, UK. Yay, yay. And what do we have from them today? We have their Laphroaig 10. That's right, Laphroaig 10-year-old. This is an Islay single malt Scotch whiskey, all malted barley, and it's available year-round. For a long time in the United States, this was the only Laphroaig product that was, readily available. This clocks in at 43% ABV or 86 proof. If you buy this in the UK, odds are it's 40%. Also, one addition they have made to this, they've, excuse me, really for the U.S. market, this is what I was told from the Laphroaig representative a few days ago. They put the caramel color into this product because of the U.S. market, which is the biggest brown spirit market in the world. United States, then Japan after that. And China is actually building on this as well. And it's also chill filtered, which is another kind of, I guess, concession for the U.S. and international market. That's where they're making their money. So I guess they're designing the product thusly. If you've ever had an Islay whiskey, you'll know that it's a peated whiskey. It's aggressively flavored. It's got an aggressive aroma. That's why I haven't poured this yet, because this is a brandy new bottle. I've had Laphroaig 10 countless times, many Laphroaig variants, and I've said to myself, I'm loving this. You know what? Let's review it and have at it. So I'm going to pop this cork the first time. When you pop a cork for the first time in Laphroaig 10, you got to take a whiff right out of the chimney here, right out of the stovepipe, because it's freaking intense as hell. And what I'm talking about is big, smoky peat. So let's pop the cork on this bad boy. Oh, hell yeah. Woohoo! Man, when you pop the cork for the first time, you can smell it from here, by the way. But man, when you take that waft in, it's like a big, campfire-y, meaty, smoky punch right up. And there's a briny note as well. I gotta get some of this in the glass. It's a chilly night. It's a perfect night for a glass of Islay Scotch Whisky. Yeah, we're gonna pour a deep glass. Why? Because we can. Hell yes. Woohoo! It's gonna be a good night. I'm gonna sip on this for well over an hour, I'm sure. But man, look at that gorgeous amber color. Now, I would imagine if they didn't add the caramel color to this, from what I'm told, it would just have a light tawny hue to it. Now, this whiskey is pretty much exclusively aged in Maker's Mark barrels. From what I know, that's what the Laphroaig rep told me, the distillery rep, and he says that is why. Well, Jim Beam products are the stablemate of Laphroaig. Why? Because they're both owned by Suntory. There's Beam Suntory, which is sort of the liquor version of that, and Suntory is out of Japan, and they are Gigandai, one of the enormous liquor brand owners on the face of the earth. One good thing that Suntory does is they don't really mess with the companies that are making the product. The quality's always been the same on Laphroaig, from what I can tell from drinking it for years. And anyways, that's really what it comes down to. That's where the rubber hits the road, is quality. So let's see what the appearance is up. It's not going to take long, but man, there's lovely, lovely alcohol legs tearing down on the inside of this snifter, and it's a gorgeous straw gold color. So take a look at that. Lovely, lovely in the glass. So let's see what's up with the aroma. Not that I didn't already smell a big blast of it out of the chimney here. Man, big fruity notes. Now that's after you're punched with the smoke. And the notes that I'm getting is like the citrus. After that, seaweedy, a little bit minerally. It almost smells like the seaweed wrapper, like that you get around when you're making sushi. If you make sushi at home, it's got that sort of briny, sort of seaweedy aroma. And it also reminds me, the smoke in this reminds me of the smell when you go to like a southern barbecue place that does all their own wood smoking of their meat right on. They got a pit right on site. Here in Maryland and Baltimore, one product that's really heavily smoked is pit beef, and this smells like that pit of the pit beef. It's sooty, ashy. Got a briny note in there as well, because you know Islay and its proximity to the sea, the peat and the peat bogs get affected by that salt air. Just so many lovely layers of the smoke wafting, and there's a sweetness in the background as well. Smells just delicious. This isn't everybody's thing, but it is definitely mine. To me, if you like barbecue, you may like this. But anyway, let's dive in for a taste. Hey, Danny, cilantro. Cheers, by the way. Man, wow. Without water, right up in front, there's a big, big punch of smoke. Now, as this bottle ages, that smoke will actually chill a little bit, and it'll mellow out over time due to oxidation, things of that sort, and it matures, etc. But man, a big, big phenolic, smoky punch right up front, campfire-like, and it tastes like you've eaten. To me, the closest food reference I go back to barbecue is burnt ends that you get either, you know, off of brisket or a pork burnt end of some sort that's been really heavily charred and heavily smoked over hours and hours. That's the lovely taste, because remember that those burnt ends are salty as well, and this has got a bit of a slight briny taste to it, minerally, and the finish is long and deep. When you drink Islay whiskey like this, after you've drank it for a while, it sticks with you. You sit in the chair for a little while, you've finished your glass or your dram, whatever you've got, and you're like, wow, it's still hanging with me, because it's really, really big. Wow. Man, such deep flavor. So, I mean, to me, it's easy to drink like this without water, but water opens it up and softens it. You can put whiskey stones in it just like this. That's often how I drink it. For the review, I'm going to put a bit of water in here now, just so I can give you a point of reference. Just a few drops right in there. I like an eyedropper like this. You can use a little spoon as well. Give it a swirl. Now, as the water sets into it, it opens up the whiskey. It lets more softer, but some of the more subtle aromas that are hidden but underneath of that freaking smoke bomb that comes out of this, especially when it's a new bottle. Let's get a nose into here. Totally different experience. The smoke is much lighter. It's the first thing that greets you, says, bam, I'm a peated whiskey. But what comes after that, I'm getting like some really slight vanilla notes, a little bit of like orangey or I don't know, maybe grapefruity or tangerine type citrus. Can't identify it exactly. But it's citric notes. After that, a bit of like honey sweetness. Still those minerally notes in there. The salt is in there still. That seaweed kind of aroma, herbaceous aroma is still present. Maybe a bit of a spicy, gingery kind of note as well. It just smells freaking lovely. Let's get a taste of it now that it's softened up a bit. Yeah. Neat with no water in it at all, or with a drop of water, both delicious. When you put that drop of water, the flavors in there expand. The peaty, hard, in your face, just almost too aggressive if you're not used to drinking whiskey like this that has this flavor profile. Almost too aggressive flavor gets softened out, it smooths out, and those aromas that I got off the smell have transferred into the taste as well, especially the citrus. And I'm getting actually a nice bit of vanilla and honey-like, or honeysuckle maybe, like sweetness, and that bit of spice. But man, lovely complexity to Laphroaig 10. Out of the Laphroaig stable that I've had probably 5 or 6 different variants of it. Some of the, ones that don't have a date statement like this one does on the front. I've had the cask strength 10-year. I've had quarter cask. I think one's called Select, and just many variants. I like the quarter cask the most, but Laphroaig 10 is definitely a delicious drink. So let's take a final taste here and see what kind of we're gonna grade this or whatever. Lovely, lovely. So for whiskeys. Now you're gonna hear my grade, and you're gonna think what you're gonna think if you haven't had this yet, or when you first try it. Remember, the first time you step up on a peated whiskey of this type, it's going to be big, it's going to be bold, and it may blow your palate away. After you've drank more extreme flavored drinks or bigger flavor profile drinks and spirits over time, you know what, you appreciate this bigger flavor profile, and you kind of want it. Almost like, if you eat like eating spicy food, right? You eat a lot of spicy food, well, there you go. I want more of it. Peated whiskey is like that for me. When I eat barbecue, I like that extreme barbecue flavor, and this really reminds me of like heavily smoked barbecue, and it's got like a savory, almost umami to it with the salt that's in there and everything. That's one of the things that's like really keys it to me, is the umami kind of reaction and sort of taste that you get out of this product, man. It's just tasty. Anyway, so as whiskeys go, as Laphroaig goes, I'm going to give this 10, I'm going to give it a 91. It's a high, for me, a nice A- range, 91, 92, somewhere around there. It's a product that I've bought more than once, and it's got to get at least an A- for me, in my opinion. If I buy it more than once, I seek it out. Anytime I see it at a tasting, man, I definitely want to taste it, just because I haven't had it or whatever, but for a little while. But man, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this bottle for sure, and you know what? It's just a great product. So, have you had Laphroaig 10 from D. Johnston & Company, also known as Suntory? If you have, let me know what you know, because I like the quid pro quo and the back and forth. I also like it when you think globally, drink locally, and support the craft spirit and beer movement, because that keeps diversity going and more products coming out our way that make us happy and say, damn, I want to drink that again. It's also really cool if you do me a big favor, if you would rate, comment, subscribe, especially if this is your first time with us, and you know what you got to do. You got to smash that like button, because that, along with, I only need one little glass, maybe I had like about a finger and a half of this Laphroaig 10, definitely to kick back, chill, and put my happy face on. So to the next DJs BrewTube, I got nothing but definitely a big-ass bunch of Laphroaig 10 drinking love for you, and you know what's coming now. You're ready for it by this point, aren't you? I've been flapping my gums for a while. Hell yes, a big ass peace.